everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. This is Kana, and you're in my corner. I've got my special guest here. Would you like to say hi?
Hello, my name is John Smith.
Is it really? Is
no,
that just
it's
one of
Chuck
your names?
Huber.
Oh.
No, my real name's Chuck Huber. I'm sorry. I meant to be John Smith today, but it just didn't work out. I really wanted to be John Smith. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Did you want to be the one from Pocahontas? He's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure, except wasn't that Mel Gibson, and he's gone sort of crazy now. I don't want to be Mel Gibson.
That's true, but the character's still pretty cool.
That's true.
Anyway, I told everybody out there, you know, what was going on in your life and things like that. So we have to thank you for taking time out of your day to do this show, especially after you went through essentially a major surgery. I really appreciate it.
I'm having, oh God, my heart. Oh, I'm dying again. Oh no. Isn't that exciting? I just died right on your show.
I think you're the first.
That would be bad to have an actual death on the show, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty scary. I think we'd have to go to break.
I know. Oh, we'll take a break now. Our guest seems to have died. Oh, what a terrible tragedy. Well, does everyone know the story? Do you want me to tell the story of what happened?
Oh, sure. Please do.
I was in Washington, D.C. doing some research for maybe a movie I'm working on later. I don't know. I might not be able to talk about it. Could be very super secret. But I was in Washington, D.C., and I had a massive heart attack. Like at 3 a.m, I started feeling like I had really bad, like, indigestion, except it hurt really, really worse than indigestion. And then I was supposed to get in a cab and go visit some friends in Portland. So I was going to the airport, and I told the cabbie to stop at the CVS so I could pick up some aspirin and Advil. And then I was like, I'm dying. This is bad. Aspirin and Advil is not going to fix this. So then I told them to take me to the emergency room, and they kind of flipped out, like, because I don't look like, you know, like heart attack dude. But I came in, I was like, I'm having chest pain. I don't feel good. And this little, you know, nice little 22-year-old nurse, like, takes me to the triage room, hooks me up to the EKG. Her eyes kind of bug out, and I go, is something wrong? And she goes, I have some concerns. And then she walked out of the room. And then like 18 people walked back in the room, and I swear it was like everybody was holding hypodermic needles and pills. Because then I started getting injected everywhere, and pills and tubes. And so then I was like, I guess this isn't good. And they said, yes, you're having a very big heart attack. And
oh, my.
I know, it's really weird. I guess my great-grandfather dropped dead at 40 from a heart attack. So the doctor said it was just genetics. He said there was nothing you could have done. Because I'm a really healthy eater, you know, and I exercise all the time. So it was really a surprise. But as soon as I was being taken care of by all these, like, super cool people, I was, you know, just cracking jokes. You know, it's weird. I couldn't stay in my regular voice the whole time. It was like I had to be it was like I'm really happy to be here because my heart's feeling so much better. I turned into a Russian man. I was very happy to be here with you in this emergency room.
Actually,
so
it's kind of funny you mentioned that. When I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, I did the same thing. I did funny voices for like the next week. I don't know why.
I think it helps you sort of dissociate from the pain or from the experience, because it's really, I mean, major surgery. Anyone who's gone through major surgery, it is not a lot of fun. Or it can be not a lot of fun. I had I mean, my experience was really fun because after I was at that hospital in Virginia, they didn't think they could save me, so they put me in a helicopter and sent me to a better hospital that could fix my heart, and then I went to that hospital. So I got to fly in a helicopter, you know, and get my chest cracked open and get a quintuple bypass on my heart. Now I have like an Iron Man heart, because normally I had 3 arteries that feed the chambers of your heart blood and help it pump that were blocked, and they added 5 more. So now I'm like eating super pure, no sugar, no dairy, barely any fat. So I'm trying to clean out the extra arteries so I can have 8 arteries supplying my heart so I can be like Iron Man. See, my children think I'm like Iron Man already because they had to wire my chest together with titanium wire. So I have titanium wire in my chest now. So I'm pretty much a superhero now, I think.
That sounds scary. I'm going to just be honest. That must have been quite a fright.
You know, and it's weird because I was scared when I was feeling bad, and I was scared up until the point I told the cabbie to go to the emergency room. And as soon as I told him that, all the fear left me, and I wasn't afraid I was going to die. My wife was like, you didn't think you were going to die? At no point you thought, oh, this is it. I was like, no, wasn't scared at all. Never thought I was going to die. Just really happy to be taken care of by really awesome nurses and doctors and orderlies. So. Oh, and one of the orderlies recognized my voice, and he said, are you a voice actor? And this was like right after my surgery. I've got like 9 tubes in my chest and these little wires sticking out of my chest that were attached to my heart, that when they took them off, the doctor goes, okay, now this isn't going to hurt, but it's going to feel weird. And I said, why? He goes, well, because these wires are attached to your heart, and I'm going to pull them out, and you're going to feel it tug on your heart. So he was literally tugging on my heartstrings. It felt weird because he goes, blink, and my heart would go whoop, 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 and kind of float back and forth. So it was a little creepy. But this orderly recognized my voice as Kia. He goes, I heard you an actor. Do you do voices? And I said, yeah. He goes, so you do voice of Kia? And I was like, yeah, I'm the voice of Kia. And this was like, I was totally doped up on drugs. And he's like, can you do Hiei's voice? I can do Hiei dying. I kind of was just laying there half dead, but it was hysterical. It was pretty fun.
Well, I'm happy that you recovered, and I'm pretty sure, are you still recovering from the surgery?
Yeah, technically I've got another month of, like, they say, like, until February 15th, I can't pick up anything over 10 pounds. And that's not because of my heart. It's because of my sternum. They sawed through my sternum, and so that has to heal. But, I mean, like, I just came back from a 4-mile walk, a really quick 4-mile walk. I did it in 53 minutes this time, so that was my best time. So I try to walk 2 to 4 miles a day. If I'm feeling good, I walk 4 miles. If I'm feeling not so good, I walk 2. And, you know, I take naps whenever I want, and I'm technically not obligated to do anything, and it's sort of like a really nice excuse. You know, I've been very busy for a long time. My oldest son is 21. My youngest child is 4, and I've got 3 in between, and my wife is pregnant, and I provide for the family by being an actor, so I have to hustle all the time. So it was really nice to just, I know it sounds weird, but it was really nice to have my heart as an excuse to just sort of like go, I'm just going to putz around for a couple months and just relax. So I get to take naps. I've been hanging out, playing games with my kids, you know, getting the fishing gear together. We went to Bass Pro Shop yesterday and bought some more fishing stuff and some more camping stuff. So as soon as I'm up to carrying stuff, we're out. We're going to the river, the mountains. We're going to go fishing. We're going to go hunting. We're going to kill some parrots because we're vegetarians.
Oh, deer jerky. That's always a good one, too. I used to go hunting with my brother.
We used to have to go hunting. My dad would be like, go hunting, boys, or you're not eating. And we'd have to go out and kill stuff.
Now, I do know that you guys had a donation going around. Do you want to promote that for people who are interested?
Sure. I can't. I don't even know. I know nothing about this. This was started by my sister, and because I said, no, we will suffer, because part of the issue of not being able to, of having to recover is that I'm essentially a subcontractor. I'm self-employed, and if an actor is not hustling and moving and working, he's not bringing money. And so my sister was like, we need to get you money, and we need to pay for the $500,000 bill, because that's how much it costs to fix my heart, which is a bargain. But I know nothing about it, so it's all been done by my sister and some of my other family members, so I can't promote it.
I understand. I'm pretty sure it's on your Facebook fan page. So if
okay.
If people out there, if people out there are interested in helping with the costs of what happened to Chuck, please head on over to Facebook.com, click in his name and the fan page, and you can find it there. All the information's on there. That's what I remember of it. So hopefully everybody jumps over to Facebook, or at least like him.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of fans who sent me, fans who were like, I'm sorry, I'm poor, I can't send you money, but I got like an Austria cut out. I got a little EA. I got some drawings, just stuff I put up in the hospital when I was recovering, just to make me not feel like I was sitting in a hospital room. So that was cool. It's nice to have fans that love anime.
And love you.
Well, yes, of course, but we all love anime together, so it's just a giant glomp fest. That's all it is.
So would you say you're a big geek yourself?
I am a total nerd. Total nerd. To give you an idea of how nerdy I am, my son and I are trying to figure out how to make our own two-way ham radios. We're like, oh, we could get our licenses and we could have our ham radios and we could make them ourselves so we can talk to each other and we can figure out how to mod a cell phone so that we can use the cell phone so we can text each other over a ham radio. Wouldn't that be awesome? And so we could try to figure out stuff like that. And then, of course, I used the heart attack excuse. I was like, honey, I've had a heart attack. I really need something to do while I'm relaxing. So I got the new Call of Duty Black Ops.
Very nice.
I don't know if that's good for my heart, but it's definitely a very fun game to play.
Is there anything you have planned when you're all up and ready to go, anything big you got planned when you go back to, whether voice acting or live action, anything like that?
Yeah, I went in last week just as sort of a trial run. I went in and did 3 hours in the studio. And it went really well, and they were nice to me and didn't push me too hard. And so I've got another, 2 or 3 hours next week that, I'm trying to slowly work up to getting back up to speed in the next. The doctor said I could start really working February 1st if I didn't do anything massively big till February 15th. So I'm kind of starting to ramp things up. But nothing really big planned. Nothing right now.
Well, it's still nice that, I'm assuming the studios and the directors are very understanding of what happened, and they're trying to help you go at your pace.
Yeah, that's very true. They've been awesome. Funimation, especially, is just really incredible to me, and it's just so nice to have a place where you've worked for so long where they're just that accommodating. I've been doing, I don't know if you know this, I've been doing writing for a while. I wrote with my writing partner, Jamie Markey, we wrote the first season of Hetalia. And so, and a bunch of other ones, Spice and Wolf we did together, and I worked on Strike Witches with Leah Clark. And so the writing stuff is starting to pick back up again. And so John Bergmeyer, our lead writer, head writer, he's been very nice to me. He's given me stuff to write where I can just sort of pick away at it at like 1/4 of the page I would normally do it. So that's been really good.
Very cool. And we're going to take a very short break here, get a swig of water, all that fun stuff. So keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want and nothing you don't. Ever wonder what's going on in the anime world? Check out 91.8 The Fan every weekday for the newest iStock. We'll fill you in on everything you need to know in 3 minutes or less. Only on 918thefan.com. Hey, everybody out there. You're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. I'm still here with my special guest, I hope. Maybe?
Yes, I am still special.
I might have fed him McDonald's accidentally. No, I'm kidding. But for anybody out there, we've been talking about, what happened to you, but if you'd be willing, we'd like to talk about your voice work and how you got involved with the industry.
I started on a whim. I had a buddy of mine, Brad Jackson, who said, hey, they're doing an anime over in North Richland Hills. And I said, that sounds like a scam. And he said, no, you should go audition. It's really cool. And so I said, okay, I'll go audition. And I went and auditioned, and he and I were in a theater company together. So it was, when Funimation started, it was like the microphone was a tin can with a string attached to it, and there were 2 bricks where there should have been speakers. It was just the most rinky-dink operation ever when it first started, because they just started with as little money as possible. And then they blew up huge. And I'm exaggerating. They had a proper booth and a proper microphone, but it was just you had to walk through the fulfillment where they would package all the videos back in the days of videos, the Dragon Ball Z videos. and send them out to be distributed. So you'd walk through sort of like a warehouse to this little back corner where they had the recording studio. And I walked in, you know, Chris Sabat was the director, and I think John Bergmeyer was the engineer, soon to be replaced by Justin Cook, and then John went on to write it. But, you know, I walked in and I auditioned for, what was my first? Garlic Jr. And I got it. And then I did Garlic Jr., and after that I did Android 17, and after that it just kept rolling. I mean, I've been doing it for like 12 years now.
And did you think that you would have such a big role in voice acting, or did you originally just want to be an actor?
I started as an actor in Chicago, and I went to DePaul University. They have a theater school there, a conservatory, and that's where you just do like acting 24/7, and did that and did plays in Chicago at the Steppenwolf and Goodman, and some TV and some film and commercials, and voice work in Chicago was sort of my staple as well. I did a lot of voiceovers for commercials and TV, and so it was going really well up there. But our son was 6 at the time, and I was trying to teach him to ride his bike in the alley, you know, and we lived in the city, and it was just kind of a drag teaching him to ride his bike. And coincidentally, at the same time, I kind of had a falling out with my agent, because he wanted me to audition for movies that I wasn't necessarily comfortable auditioning for. And so I can't even express what the movie was about. It's too embarrassing. Imagine the worst movie you can ever imagine and being asked to audition for it. That's the movie I was asked to audition for. So we had kind of a falling out because he wanted me to audition for stupid, bad, horrible, terrible movies, and I wouldn't audition for him. And so we were not having it, and so my wife and I said, hey, let's move. And I was not originally, I was in Texas from 7th to 12th grade and had a bunch of family down here, brothers and sisters and my parents, and so my wife was like, let's go down there. It'd be fun for, you know, Josh, our oldest, to be by all the family and cousins. And I said, okay, let's do it. And just said, yeah, let's do it. And we moved to Texas, and that's where I ended up. You know, if you're going to do anime, there's basically 2 places now that you can do it, which is L.A. and Dallas-Fort Worth. So I just happened to end up in a city where they were doing it, and happened to have a friend who auditioned and told me to go to audition. And, you know, it's so funny because I almost didn't audition. I almost went, nah, I'm not going to do that. And it would have changed the whole course of my life. Just, you know. So that's a lesson to you, children. Always do that thing that's good than difficult. That's the moral.
And you got to see sort of the anime boom, because around Dragon Ball Z was, you know, Sailor Moon and Pokemon and all that. And that must have been sort of a far-out experience.
Yes, the first time, I had no idea. And we watched anime in college in Chicago. There was a cool video store that would have Japanese animes subbed, not dubbed. And we would go rent anime from this, I can't remember the name of the video store, but we'd bring it back to the dorm room and watch them, and it was awesome. And then it was starting back then, and then it really blew up, Dragon Ball Z. And oh, I'm sorry, you may hear a noise. Someone's trying to call in on my phone. And
that's fine.
The first time I went to a convention, I had no idea how huge it was. And the first convention I went to was Otakon. And they said, you're going to be signing autographs. And I said, why? I had no idea why people would want my autograph. And this was around when Yu Yu Hakusho, I think, was. And so I went, and suddenly there was like a line of 500 million people to get autographs. And I was like, what in the name of all that is good and holy is going on? Why are all these people here to get my autograph? And you could, you know, get all woo-headed about it, but it's really the character. I mean, they're really there for the anime, for the character. And yes, the voice actors do their part too, but it's something we all get to participate in. And as a voice actor, I'm lucky enough to be the guy who gets to do the voices. But I mean, I'm as much a participant in anime as the anime fans are. I mean, we're all just anime fans. I just am lucky enough to get to do this little part of it. But it's not, I mean, we're all fans of the characters and of the stories and of the genres and just the different series, you know. So it's one big fandom, in my opinion.
I can understand that, and you must still really like, talking with the fans and everything else. Do you have any conventions planned for 2011, or are you going to take it easy?
I do. I don't know what they are. I had 3 or 4, and then they were put on hold when I nearly died, which is a good thing to do. You should put stuff on hold. But I think I'm putting them back on notice that I'm going to go to them, although I can't remember right now which ones they are. I think one's in Arizona, maybe.
Is there a place where we can keep updated? Do you have a website, or do you do Twitter, Facebook?
I was on Facebook. I committed Facebook suicide about 4 months ago.
I didn't know that's what it was called now.
Yes, we call it Facebook suicide. You just pull the plug and never to return. I do not. I suppose that I could have my manager put stuff on the Facebook page. I'm trying to be connected to people in the real world and not digitally. And so it's really weird because now I'm writing letters to fans instead of emails, which is just a little bit more personal than, I'm returning all these people who wrote me stuff when I was sick. I'm writing notes, personal notes back to them. Whereas if I was on Facebook, I would have just, people would have said, "Oh, sorry you're sick," and I just would have hit like or said, "Thanks everyone," and been done with it. And now I have to take the time, I get to take the time to personally connect with people more. So I don't know. Write me a letter and I'll write you back and tell you what conventions I'm going to.
Well, that does have a little bit more meaning to it. I mean, we've gotten, people who say, "Oh, thanks, for all the work you do here on the website." And I've gotten fan letters, like handwritten letters, like twice, and they're tangible. I can feel them, I can see them. It's not something that's just on the internet, and it brings out more emotion too. So I think your fans will really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not that I'm knocking Facebook or the internet. My son is in college, and if I were in college or a young person and didn't have family obligations, I'd totally be all over the Facebook. But for me, it's just like I need to be connected to my kids and my wife and my friends in the real world, and I found myself just looking at Facebook too much. Probably just a me thing. I have problems. I have issues. Obviously, I had a heart attack and nearly died.
Oh, that's not funny.
No,
I'm
it's
laughing
hilarious.
anyway. Oh,
it's hilarious. There's nothing funnier.
Well, are there any projects that, came out before the incident or might be coming out soon that you want to promote to everybody?
Trying to think. Well, I did Austria and Italia, but that's already out. But I believe someone has licensed the next season of Italia, so as soon as someone's little heart is better and can get to writing, then perhaps we'll have another season of Italia.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
And I don't know, what else am I working on? I'm not really working. Dragon Ball Kai, of course. I started recording Android 17 stuff. That was one of the first business calls I got after not business calls. Sadak called me and he was like, "Dude, don't worry about Android 17. Just get better. We'll hold him, or we can come record you, or we can stunt cast his fighting reacts. We can get someone else to do that, so you can just do the voice." Because Android 17 is very chill anyway. He doesn't have to yell and scream a lot. So look for Android 17.
Very cool. And I wanted to ask you, since we're nearing the end of this interview, would you be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition?
That absolutely depends on the tradition.
I know about your condition, so obviously you can decline, but would you be willing to say a line for us? Do a radio bump for us?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. We ask everybody if they'd be willing to say, "My name is," you put your name there, "I do this," you put what you do, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan, and we do it live on air for any mess-ups.
So what do I say? I say, "My name is Chuck Huber. I am a voice actor, and you're
You
listening to 91.
you can do I am a voice actor. You can mention certain characters. I'm so and so in whatever series, and it's you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
You're tuned into. Sure, I'll do it. You ready?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Chuck Huber. I am here in Yu Yu Hakusho, Ender 17 in Dragon Ball Z, and Hero in Shinchan, and Shao Tucker in Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm also a very small sprite that you can't see. And you're listening. No, you're not listening. You're tuned into 91.8 The Fan. That's what I meant.
Actually, I think that would be perfect all on its own, unless you want to try again.
I can try it again unless you want that one.
I
Whatever
think that
you want.
I think that would work great because it's funny, and I appreciate so much that you were here with us today and that you were willing to talk about, what happened and your vocal work. Thank you so much.
Hey, my pleasure.
And did you want to say anything out there to the fans before we let you go?
I love you, fans. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to see you at the next convention. I've been missing conventions, and you can glomp me because I'll be all better by then, hopefully.
Awesome. And for anybody out there, if you missed any of this interview, just keep it tuned because in about 2 days, it'll be up on the website over at 918thefan.com. So stay tuned.